All right, so let me tell you guys what happened straight up, okay? First of all, you cannot get mad at the middleman, the radio guy, me, the person who puts the information out. I would not have any information to put out if the family members or an inside source or somebody did not come up and give me the information. I understand Kayla's frustrated, her friends are frustrated, other people on the internet are frustrated, but there's actually other people, thousands of people. I can show you. Look at those views. Thousands of people who care about the mess, want to see the mess. And if I wouldn't have put it out, another Teen Mom outlet would have eventually put it out because she had the sonogram for everybody to see on her page, okay? It wasn't private. It wasn't directly sent to me, okay? Somebody sent it to me. I sent the aunt a friend request. She accepted it and started spilling out her guts about how Kale is not a good person. So this is what led to everything that happened today. So I just want to say, I want to read the Ashley Reality Roundups article, and then I want to give my end story because this all ties in and it makes perfect sense. And this might be a long video, but I hope I'll keep y'all entertained throughout this 10-minute plus long video if it goes over. So, Ashley reports the teen mom world was rocked on Monday morning after it was reported that Kale Lowry is pregnant again by her third baby daddy, Chris Lopez. The news came from Chris's aunt, whom confirmed to the Teen Mom Shade Room Instagram account, hey, that's me, that the Teen Mom 2 star was once again pregnant with Chris's child. Chris's aunt posted a photo of a person holding a sonogram who is supposedly Kale, who had a very similar fingernail polish back when the photo was taken. Insert picture here and here. So, continuing online court records indicate that Chris was arrested twice in October and that there is currently a protective order barring Chris from going near Kale. It appears that the order has been in place since right after the arrest. The Ashley can also reveal that Chris is due to face the charges in court later this month. Online court calendars indicate that he and Kale have a court date on the 21st. They were also in court because Chris was trying to legally sign his rights away from baby Lux. Now, I remember posting that Chris was trying to sign his rights away from baby Lux on my page back when this was happening in October, November-ish. I put it up. He was quick to jump in my inbox and say, take it down because that's not what it is. He's just going through some mental issues right now. And I said, cool. Because as far as I was concerned, me and Chris kind of had a cool back and forth where I thought that people gave him a bad rep. That's just what I thought. I thought that people gave him a bad rep and that he wasn't this horrible person everybody is making him out to be. And this is my second time hearing the abuse allegations. And then friends of Kale's come onto my page to basically, cuss Chris's aunt out for exposing these sonogram pictures, and they're cussing her out and they're saying like, you doing all this to protect your nephew, but he's abusive. He's been abusive. He literally beats Kale's ass. Is basically the vibe that's going on my page right now, is that he's beating Kale's ass. So I didn't know, like, okay, this is probably Kale's second time saying that Chris put his hands on her. But you wouldn't be able to tell by the way that she goo goo gagas over him. So I just wanted to put in some examples of when the abuse was supposedly happening. And this dates back to 2016, 2017. So it dates back really far.
And he says whatever he says, and he basically blamed me for keeping him from his son. But the problem is that, honestly, if he never put his hands on me, I wouldn't have had anything to say in court. The second thing is, he's not consistent. And that's the biggest thing is, I obviously never kept Isaac from Joe. I never kept Lincoln from Javi. I'm not that person, and I don't want to be that person. I want to see Lux have a relationship with his dad, and I want to be the one to facilitate social media. And he...
Okay, that was from a Coffee Convos episode in 2018. Now let me ask you this question. When Brianna and Javi were seeing each other, what year was that? What year was that? Because Javi confided in Brianna that Chris beat her, Chris beat Kale, in front of her kids. Brianna, on impulse, put it on Twitter one day. Said she needs to shut the fuck up because she get beat the fuck up in front of her kids. Y'all remember that? That is why Kel wanted to whoop her ass at that reunion.
So what's up? Let's talk. Let's talk. Why don't you tell me why you felt so comfortable commenting what you commented on Instagram? This isn't about hobby anymore. This isn't about the show. This isn't about... I want to know why you felt like you were comfortable enough to say something about my kids and about Chris.
Okay, but
you don't want me talking about your kids. You don't want me talking about your mom. You don't want me talking...
But you do it anyways.
So you said...
What?
Why what?
Relax.
I'm not going to relax because
Relax.
I'm going to beat your ass.
For what?
Because you have no...
I'm gonna do what I wanna do. I'm gonna say what I wanna say, and that's that. If you don't like it, then that's it. Why are you acting like that? What the is your problem? You're not gonna do. You're not gonna do. You're not gonna do. You're not gonna do. Shut, bitch. Bitch, stay the away. Bitch, stay the away, okay?
It's not about that.
Stay the away.
Why?
Stay the away.
Give me what you said. How you feel so comfortable talking about...
Who gives a...
Then why do you do it, Brianna? What the you think? Who do you think you are?
Bitch, who the do you think you are?
Literally, you're talking
Who
to
do you
someone...
think you are?
Someone what?
You talk about me all the time.
Because who are you? You come on.
So it's okay for you to talk about me, but the moment I talk about you, it's a problem?
What do I say?
So you don't talk about me?
Yeah, you're right.
So the whole time, you never said anything about me?
One time.
Okay. I'm getting out of here.
She wants to act like a street...
You see this? You see this? Shut up. She's so corny.
I'm just gonna breathe. I'm just gonna breathe.
Okay.
I'm just gonna breathe. It's fine. It's fine. She wants to talk all this internet, but she can't say to my face. She can't say... She said on Instagram, shut the up because she gets beat the up in front of her kids. So that's when I really just had I lost all respect. Like, I think that...
The Ashley also reported in 2018 that Chris was violent with Kel multiple times, once while she was holding the baby. The source, who claimed to be present for at least one of the incidences, told the Ashley the source also claimed that Chris allegedly tried to break into Kel's house at least once to see the baby and left damage on her front door frame and window. Some of the film crew noticed a hole was punched in Kel's garage door and confided in someone to the crew that Chris did it. The production source never followed up on this story, though. I say all that to say this. The domestic violence has been an ongoing thing for a while because Chris Lopez, allegedly, according to my sources, has been in a mental depression. He has had anxiety. He has had times where he wanted to end it all for some while because of the fact that he feels like he went to school, basically wasted his time, couldn't get a good paying job, was cutting hair on the side. According to some family member that's in my DM, he hadn't had a job since he graduated college in 2017. Not a steady job, okay? He wanted to sign his rights over from Lux because of the depression he was under from the fact that he could not keep a steady job and Kel was making all this money. And even though Kel was willingly going to invite him into the house to stay, was willingly going to say, that we can, sort out the bills later on when you get yourself situated. I'm on your team. Chris could not accept the fact that Kel was on his team because he did not feel like a man shacking up in her house, not paying any bills. He pretty much felt useless, like he didn't really have a purpose. So his depression kept growing and growing over time, which is why it might have led to some domestic disputes between the two. According to sources, what you see on the internet is not always so. Kel has been very much forthcoming. Kel has tried to make her family work over and over again, but Chris Lopez, quote unquote, has this pride where he's not going to let a woman take care of him. if he doesn't have his shit together 100%, he's not even going to put himself in the situation. So he was never going to put himself in the situation to live with Kale or have this functioning family with Kale when he didn't feel comfortable about where he was in life. I hope you guys can keep up with what I'm trying to say. So honestly, no matter what job that Chris Lopez ever would have obtained, he would have not been making more money than Kale. Kale's Teen Mom 2 paycheck, according to this source, is at $700K a season. I have not checked, so I don't know if it is at $700K a season. But last time I did check, it was $500K a season. I think they split their seasons up into two, and their seasons run for a year, and then immediately after another year. So that's $1 million in 2 years that he's known this girl. She's raked up this dough just by sitting around complaining about him, Joe, and Javi. Now, according to the source, they claim that Kale and Chris both need to grow the hell up. They claim that the domestic dispute happened shortly after Chris Lopez wanted to give his rights up for Lux. And the reason he wanted to do that is because Kale was crying and pressuring him over and over to move in. And he honestly didn't feel comfortable doing it because he didn't have any money. He didn't feel comfortable paying the amount of child support that he was paying, which is an undisclosed amount that I don't know of. He had really fallen on bad times mentally and physically. So they got in an argument and he wanted to sign his rights away for baby Lux, which is what he tried to do because he was just so mad at Kale. Is from what I've heard, they got in like a really huge argument. So after that didn't work and the argument, the domestic dispute, whatever, the order was supposedly put in place, and according to two other people, Kale had sex with him after the order was in place because they were on some boo-hoo crying, I want my family type bullshit, okay? Honestly, now that everything has came out, I feel like Chris kind of went over there on some I want my family back bullshit with hopes that Kale would drop the protective order, which didn't get dropped. And more than one person has said that it was just make-up sex that they were having, very passionate, heat of the moment type thing, where she allegedly got knocked up again. Once again, I don't know if any of this is true, okay? I'm being very gentle with this situation because I see that, she's running to her therapist and she's not feeling well and all of this is getting to her. And Chris is in a very delicate state and he has been for months. So I want to be real, like I want to walk a thin line with how I treat the story. I've gotten some crazy DMs within the past 2 days about sex and fighting and incidences where people were there and they saw it firsthand. And I'm not going to treat this situation like I treated Javi. I'm not going to expose every single story that somebody gives me about these two because I see that these two are in, a difficult state right now, okay? Javi, he deserved to get blasted from here to Canada for his cheating allegations, but this woman isn't even out of her first trimester yet, and I'm not about to blow no whole big ass story up again. So that's all for now. What y'all think?